I'm going to talk as long as I have daylight. I anticipate that to be another 10 minutes. I've been thinking hard. Out here in the desert, it's easy for the mind to start thinking. You don't have the distractions of the city. You don't have the noises, the pollution, the noise pollution, the light pollution, the car pollution. But yeah, the places my mind goes when I'm out here, I think about a lot of things to work on. A lot of negativity, but not in a depressive way, but recognizing things that need improving and things that I need to figure out. I think the last posting I mentioned how I had room for improvement and things needed to be addressed, and I wasn't sure how to go about that. And I've had to forgive myself. A bug climbing on my fingers here. And I've kind of recollected or reminisced about certain situations and realizing how hard I am on myself. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've had a lot of room to grow. Being hard on myself is one of the bigger ones. And being hard on people that have pissed me off. I think I've said this. I'll try not to reiterate too much from what I said yesterday. But I've been hard on people, and I wish I hadn't. I've broken relationships that didn't need to be. I had a pen pal when I was a kid. I forgot how old I was exactly. I don't even know how she found my name. In fact, that's just popped into my mind right now. I was thinking of other things I was going to talk about. But yeah, this Asian girl, I think she was Japanese. She and I wrote physically by hand. Akiko Matsushita. I remember a year or two ago thinking about her just out of the blue. And sorry, I got an itch on my nose. One of those things you forget, and then you remember, and then it's a little sad because that was a relationship that you let die. Now, again, I was a little kid. I might have been 12 or 13. But that's one of those things where I thought about it. I realized I should have stuck with it, but I was a kid. Teeny bopper, whatever. A little bit of solace there. We'll never know what could have been. It might have been something fun. We could have maintained a long friendship over the decades, or more, who knows. Her name is so common. There's no way to look up someone with a very, very common name. I would, on the other hand, be easy to find. But those are the things you think about letting go. The pen pal relationship probably lasted a year. I guess I just got bored. And as parents often know, my mother asked me if I was writing her back, and I basically shrugged my shoulders and said, no, I'm bored. One of the first examples of relationships that I allowed to fail. You don't have the value at that point. You don't realize how innocent or meaningful those relationships are at that point. Damn, I'm getting bit by the bugs. I wish I was not so hard on myself at that point. It does make you wonder. Could that have been something different? Maybe. Was it meant to be? Not necessarily. Yep. Daylight's leaving over the mountains. There we go. Oh, there we go. Looks like we've got another minute or two before I'm going to be difficult to see. But, yeah. I've been thinking about my past and realizing life is temporary and that for all my mistakes, nothing is forever. Most mistakes are correctable. I've made a bunch of them. A lot of people have made mistakes towards me and I didn't forgive them, which is why those relationships failed. They didn't get maintained. They were allowed to fail. Something to consider. And unfortunately, because others have their own insecurities, they say things that aren't true. They come up with their own narratives to make things work because you terminated that relationship. Just another example of things happen because our feet are put to the fire. That's one of those examples where you hurt someone and they hurt you. Hurt people hurt people. I don't remember when I first heard that, but it seems like not more than a few years ago. Throwing hissy fits. It's not necessarily, I don't know if I would call it passive aggression, but when someone says or does something in retaliation in a sort of getting even, is getting even passive aggression? So I've been thinking deeply, and when I'm out in the desert, I'm able to do that very well. I've been thinking about all my problems. There's so many things that come to mind when I'm not distracted with a phone ringing and people bugging me, just the daily distractions of my hometown. When I'm kind of out and about and away from my home, my mind is able to relax. And while I'm not actively meditating, my mind starts to reach into corners I don't normally reach. It looks like one star is visible. We'll see if there are any more that pop out once the sun's totally down. But anyway, before I started the camera, I started rambling about thoughts of my distant past and how I now smile about things that broke my heart 20 or 30 years ago. I was thinking about my first heartache. Never a full girlfriend, but despite the fact, she broke my heart because, well, technically, if I tell you the story, you're going to realize it was me that broke my own heart. We're about to lose daylight, so you're going to have to remind me to tell you of that story, maybe tomorrow. But it seems easier for me to jump on the camera. That's the other thing. Almost daily, I have an urge to jump on camera in the desert. In the city, I'm just too distracted. But yeah, I'm starting to open up and feel more comfortable talking about my deeply personal life. Yeah, so reminding me of experiences of my single digits I say, as in my very first years on Earth. So anyway, I talk a little longer, but I think my face is about to disappear with the sun. Yeah. Remind me about heartache, and I'll speak of that story the next time someone comments. Have a good night. Happy Saturday night.